Hello, and welcome to another update video about ETH. Yeah, ETH shows some remarkable strength, and ETH has also now filled in all waves on the smaller time frame. So now I'm, for the first time, happy to say that the pattern to the upside appears to be complete structurally, okay? And we're going to take a look at that on the smaller time frame. Now, very important, yeah, very important. Extensions, especially in crypto, are always possible. So literally ETH has now just fulfilled structurally really the minimum, no, not the minimum requirements, let's say the ideal structure, okay? It has fulfilled the ideal structure here in circle wave 1. So we take a look at that on the smaller time frame. Remember, in the previous video I highlighted to you that likely a small corrective pattern was complete. Could get one more high. We did get that one more high. But now we need to see some evidence that a top is in place. Until then, of course, we go higher. So a pullback is at some point due, and we have to expect it. But, well, let's say we have to watch for it. I should say we have to watch for it. Always need to be very careful with the language, because some people think, you know, that I say a pullback will happen. That's never the case. We have to let the market show us that the pullback has started. Okay, the analysis just tells you about the risk. The analysis doesn't predict that now a pullback is starting. It's very important to understand. Many people who are coming new into the space don't understand how to understand such an analysis. The trend is up, clearly. The smaller time frame trend is up. We've now fulfilled the requirements to complete circle wave 1 properly. And now we're basically watching if a pullback occurs, but we cannot expect it until the market breaks below the first micro support level. Hope that's very clear, yeah, because too often I read that people wait for a pullback to buy or something. I mean, yeah, I think that's reasonable to wait for pullbacks to buy, because then you have a pullback setup. But many people do that from a wrong mindset point of view. Many people wait for a pullback because they haven't got what they want to have. Okay, so I've already said weeks ago, you need to be happy with the position that you have as we're heading into this market phase. Make sure you're happy with what you've got, because a third wave, you know, sometimes pullbacks are just shallow. And if someone has absolutely no position, I mean, I've always said it might be worth just getting something, even if it's just a small position to have a foot in the door, not to feel the FOMO. But in our membership, I posted already weeks ago in anticipation what might happen, a recipe for, you know, how you can prevent FOMO. So that I think helped a lot in our community. So, but anyway, I just want to make you aware that we've got basically a 1-2-1-2 setup here on the chart. This third wave 1 is technically complete, but of course can extend higher, okay? If we get a sustained break above 2,534, I would not necessarily be watching anymore for a wave 2. Then we have stretched out too much to expect basically a wave 2 pullback, and I would assume that we're already going directly here in this third wave, okay? We're already now in the third wave anyway, so we have to expect aggressive movements. That's generally the expectation in the third wave. I would have to change my view to something bearish if the market breaks below 1666. As long as we're holding $1,666, the focus can be on higher. Okay, very important. All right, and obviously, if in this uptrend a pullback shows, it can be an opportunity. All right. Now let's go to the shorter time frame. Here you can see that we now technically have all the waves complete. In the last video, we talked about this descending wedge pattern. We talked about, okay, WXY pattern, possibly complete. We saw a rally. I said, okay, we were literally just bouncing against the descending trend line here. And yeah, we had the breakout. Typically, you say the first target for a breakout of a wedge pattern is the beginning of the wedge. That was reached. We even did overshoot it a little bit, which means we have now completed technically all the waves we wanted to see in this pattern. And now I'm just waiting for signals if we come down. But it has to, you know, obviously the market needs to show me the trend is still up. And it takes a break below the last swing low at $2,188 to indicate that the top has formed. Until then, the trend is up, and we don't want to stand in the way of a crypto trend. We have here an ascending trend line that is currently being followed. So I would say the earliest signal that you get that maybe here a pullback is starting would be a break of the trend line. Until then, until that happens, don't just even think about that pullback, because we can watch for it, but the trend is clearly up, okay? And if we talk about the next key or main Fibonacci level, here on the daily you see that it's here the $2,530 level. There isn't going to be any major structural resistance until $3,550. That's my update about ETH. I hope you liked the update. If you did, please hit the like button, leave a comment and subscribe. And if you really like the content, then please check out the channel membership. Also make sure that you follow us on Instagram and Twitter. You can find the links to those channels in the description. And yeah, have a great day. Bye-bye.